10 renowned criminals are on an island which they call Paradise in search for the elixir of life. The only thing is, the island isn't paradise. It's anything but that, as we've seen for the past, episode. Only one episode so far. It's filled with monsters, creatures that turn you into plants, and you gotta survive all of it. We've been talking about Gabimaru for quite a while now, so let's talk about someone else. Remember the guy that chopped off his arm earlier? His name's the Blade Dragon. He's such a powerful swordsman that he was known to be an unparalleled force in the 8 provinces. He defeated countless enemies, and finally there was no one strong enough to battle him, and so he became an officer for one of the local lords. The lord promised to give him the proper name of Dragon, since the lord's house name was Dragon as well. Our swordsman had agreed to the deal, but his ego would be his own demise. One day as he was having a drink with the lord joked that although he might be known as the Dragon Blade, he would never be able to kill a dragon in real life. This angered the Dragon Blade, who destroyed the entire gate of the lord's mansion and even threatened to kill the man. Turns out that back in the day, that was enough for him to be convicted of crimes, enough to give him a death sentence. He was about to be killed, but now he's here on the island hoping to get a pardon. Brother, you shouldn't have destroyed his gate. This time he plans to actually destroy the lord's entire house. Alright, he hasn't learned anything. A pardon would be wasted on this guy, to be honest, but everyone has their reasons. Back in the present, Gabimaru and Saigiri are confronted by a massive fish monster, as you remember from the last episode. Gabimaru has no idea what the thing is before him. Is it a monster? Dead? Alive? He has no clue what it is, but he has no time to think since the monster is here to attack him. Gabimaru launches himself at the monster and with a single blow lands a crucial hit to the monster's head. Well, the monster's not dead yet. Gabimaru does find out that they can be killed since the feel of them are still lifelike. I don't know how that makes sense. Gabimaru tells Saigiri to back off while he fends off the monster, but he's too unsure if he should carry on with the battle. Brother, are you ever sure about any battle these days? I don't think you have been for the past 3-4 episodes. But fleeing ain't an option. He could run on his own, but if you let Saigiri die, nothing after that would matter. Gabimaru doesn't have a lot of time to think because if the fish monster was trouble, here come 20 more similar problems. Saigiri, who from the beginning of the anime is not really a confident person in herself and also in her decisions, really starts doubting the whole follow the shogunate agenda that she was carrying. Clearly, she wasn't prepared for this island. Last she remembers, she was assigned to kill humans who did crimes. Nobody told her there would be monsters the size of mountains. All sorts of monstrous creatures start appearing from all around the forest and surrounding them. These monsters look weird yet sane at the same time. Some look like humans, some look like animals, others look like the Buddha. Nothing makes sense to Gabimaru, and he goes into rampage mode. His only aim is to survive, and it looks like to survive, he must kill every single one of them. One by one, Gabimaru begins to kill the monsters that appear nearby by using fire ninjutsu that seems to be his forte. With his powers, he slices their arms and legs and heads and even makes some of them explode, which seems cool, I guess. But suddenly, he realizes that Saigiri was getting caught up with a Buddha-like monster. I never thought I'd say that in my life. The devilish-looking finger centipedes. What? These centipedes have fingers for legs, and they're attached to Saigiri's dress while a massive Buddha-like monster tries to attack her from behind. Gabimaru manages to get there just in time to save Saigiri, but he cannot attack the monster simultaneously. Luckily for them, the monster seems to be killed by someone else. From the forest approach 3 people. 1 purple-haired girl from the first episode, and 2 accompanying Yamada clan members. This girl must be really dangerous if there are 2 Yamada clan members accompanying her. This girl introduces herself as Yuzuriha, a ninja, just like Gabimaru, and she seems really sus. Gabimaru is repulsed by this girl, but he remembers what his wife told him. If anybody saves your life, you have to say thank you. How often is your life in danger for someone to give you that advice? That very obvious advice. So, out of the blue, in front of everyone, Gabimaru thanks her for saving his life. Yuzuriha then starts her sus business and begins seducing Gabimaru, asking him if he would be so kind as to save a little girl and accompany them. That sentence somehow did not read right to me. Gabimaru has no mind to entertain this girl's nonsense. He immediately pins her down to the floor and tells her to cut it out. He knows the tactics of the kunoichi and does not want her to carry on with this seduction that he knows has no effect on her. Saigiri then asks her clan members why 2 of them are accompanying a single prisoner. This massive samurai dude named Genji, who was one of the ones who saved their lives, explains that he was actually assigned to a guy named Moro Makia. The prisoner was actually executed by Yuzuriha, and so he realized that this girl is very dangerous and decided to accompany his other clan member to keep an eye on her. Especially because the other guy doesn't seem really sharp, but hey, there's still a lot of anime to go, so I'm welcome to be surprised. Anyways, just as the man ends his explanation, Yuzuriha once again starts trying to seduce Gabimaru into working with her. He once again pins her down and asks her why she even wants to work with him. Clearly, he can't trust her. Just then, the girl pulls a power move and uses the same hold to put Gabimaru in a pinhold instead. She tells him that she knows that they cannot trust each other, and who even asked for him to trust her? She just wants him to accompany her and give strength to her. After all, in the end, only one of them can get the elixir and the pardon, so she just wants them to use each other until that moment. And then no holds barred, I guess. In exchange, she will give him the information that she has about this place. She explains that Gabimaru has no idea, while she has a lot of information about this island somehow, some way. For example, Gabimaru thinks that the monsters are the only thing that's dangerous, but she explains that is simply not the case. While the monsters look fracking terrible and tend to attack them, they can be evaded. Even the finger centipedes may look very creepy, but they don't eat anything but fish. The real problem are the butterflies. Not only do these frickers look weird, they also seem to carry poison that causes humans to hallucinate and then eventually turn into plant monsters. Glad we finally got an explanation on that. Now Gabimaru is even more suspicious why this girl was so willing to share this information. He asks her what reason she has to live, and especially how she found out about this island. She begins to spill up a story that she's conjured up. She tells him that she has a sister who's sick and there's no cure for her disease. She wanted to become a ninja to earn money for her and all sorts of that. Gabimaru tells her to keep it short if she's lying, and finally she comes clean. She tells him that she doesn't really have any reason to live. But does anyone ever need a reason to live? She just doesn't want to die until she gets old. That seems like a logical enough reason for Gabimaru, and he agrees in exchange for information that he'll help them with his powers. As for the answer to how she found out all this information, she simply used Morumakia as a scapegoat. She used all the insects and monsters that she could find to experiment on him, and that's how she got all that information. Wow, that's terrifying. The Yamada clan members have no issues with alliances or death battles as long as they find the elixir of life, and so an unlikely alliance is formed between two people that are probably going to kill each other by the end of it, if not 10 minutes from now. While all this is happening, Saigari is confused. She believes that she has amounted to nothing throughout this whole journey, and she'd be right. She's become yet another helpless woman character in anime, and with all the pressure mounting and buried in her self-doubt, Saigari faints. This seems like a perfect transition to talk about someone else named Tomo. He's actually a member of the Yamada clan who recently joined them. He was really great in his appearances for the clan, and soon enough he was accepted by everyone. And now he was tasked with taking a criminal to Paradise Island, a criminal of his choice. That criminal would be Chobi, the bandit king, who is surprisingly his brother. This man was so sly that he'd managed to infiltrate the enemy to save his brother, and now the brothers were here in Paradise Island fighting against monstrous creatures. Both of them had a difficult beginning. Their clan leader had been executed by the shogunate for crimes against the shogun, and their clan was also disbanded since the crimes of the leader would mean the crimes of the entire clan. Tome throughout his life had looked up to his brother, who'd showed real strength. For him, it means change, adaptation, and that's exactly what Chobe had been. Even when their mother had succumbed to illness, even when their father had been executed for trying to avenge the death of their clan leader, even when they were captured by bandits, Chobe had shown strength. He had managed to turn the situation around and make their lives better. He'd become the leader of the same bandits who had captured them until eventually the Yamada clan members arrived to capture them. Chobe told his brother to leave him and come back to save him later, and that's exactly what Tomo had done. Here on the island, the brothers are fighting for their lives, and together they believe that they can do anything. The monsters that surround them seem to know that they are murderers and tell them that they must repent for their sins, but despite all odds, the brothers fight and defeat everyone anyways. They refuse to acknowledge the crimes that have been put on them, and they refuse to die. Not a lot of people now remain on the island, and the Shogun's patience must be running out. They gotta find that elixir soon. But not today, because that's where we're gonna leave it off for now. If y'all enjoyed the recap of Hell's Paradise and you want to see more, hit the like button, leave a comment down below what other episodes you want us to recap, and hit the subscribe button to keep up to date with all of our uploads. Check out our Discord server if you want the sauce, and thank you very much for watching. Type chicken fingies in the comment section if you made it this far, and I will see you on the next one. Peace!